everyone, welcome to my channel. I've sort of got part two of a viewer's request here, and I thought I'd bring out the full looking through the back door and we'll start debunking some stuff. So I will put up on the screen when the cards start if you don't want to see the receipts of this reading. So this is going back on a question saying that a viewer has seen some pictures coming out. I'm not too sure what pictures we're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that I know the ones in the last couple of weeks that have come through, and especially the one that looks like, yeah, Harry walking down with someone else. Pretty sure that looks like the Windsor Gardens or wherever it was. However, let's just start with the first one. This came out a couple of weeks ago. So I ran it through my AI and they said, yeah, well, what I'll do, I mean, it gives you an example of, you know, where to look and exactly what's wrong with it and you know, colouring and shading and everything like that. So that's the first one, and it's some, I don't know, yeah, whatever it is, supposed to be on a yacht, right? Then you've got the second one that's come through, and AI has turned around and said that there's a good chance that this is almost shows strong indications of being manipulated or AI. As soon as I saw it, especially with the teeth, I'm thinking, yeah, pretty obvious. I know that she's already had the teeth, but you could just see in the colour, you know, when you put it into the computer and you scan it, it's very much easy to see the difference compared to social media. Then we go on to the one that I think is probably where a lot of people were hoping maybe he had, you know, someone. Probably does, but it's not this picture. This picture is likely everything else. Yeah, wrong. So that's just a couple of examples. However, this last picture here with him and, you know, whoever it was with the blurred out face, more than likely it was Markle when they were engaged, more than likely, right? If you note in the yellow, it's got a disclaimer. AI is actually warning that this is the kind of thing that if it gets spread, which Mexi is doing. Queen of Pentacles, exactly. It's if it gets spread like what they were doing to Princess Catherine, which the Fool just showed out, then the gruesome twosome can still pursue their platform for censorship, right? Because they're saying, look at what comes out. This is why you need censorship. And the more people, you know, share it on social media, especially when the bots or the sewer squad, whoever, you know, Boozy, whoever, releases them, well, it's just playing into their hands, right? However, on saying that, the pictures that came out, well, let's just say the pictures that came out today at the time of reading on the beach somewhere, that was obviously the pictures that she had that was real. Yes, it was real. It was sold to TMZ, and it was basically her secret stash, and she has it so she can, you know, change the narrative kind of thing. Something's been reported that they don't like, so they want to change the narrative. I think this coincides very much with his spiritual awakening. It would not surprise me in the least if he's still not back from wherever officially. And as for anything yacht-wise, people have to be careful. However, I'll put up on the screen as well just now a couple of pictures. One, they were saying that, oh, that's not Markle, that's Andy's girlfriend. Okay, which is Randy Andy's girlfriend at the time. Fine. How about this one on the table? And that is with all her friends, Heather, Misha, and Benita, right? She was even, all her kids and that were at the wedding, right? Yeah. And the yachting day photos that are also out, they're legit, and the AI has confirmed that. So Let's just see. What's the story with all this BS that's just coming out lately? All right, Page of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, the Hangman, Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So this is someone in their camp. This is a man child. Here you go. This is your man child. Would you believe that Harry is actually behind this, allegedly entertainment purposes only, because he's actually stuck where he is, okay? He can't get off that tree. He's just hanging around at the moment. He knows he's well and truly kicked out of basically everywhere, right, especially when it comes to the royal family. He's a palacer, and he's trying to manifest. He is absolutely trying to manifest this. And why am I saying Harry? Because you've got the Page of Pentacles here, you've got the man-child. And this is also coming back from a reading I've just done as well about his spiritual awakening. The moon, strength, and the Eight of Pentacles. So she's also into this, but what she's doing is the ones that she released just recently, which was all money motivated. So she has her secret little stash, as I showed you, and she definitely uses it to sell it, to change the narrative. When something comes out, when something from the deep, dark lagoon crawls out, or the murky stuff crawls out, which is what the moon is all about, all the deceptions are now being thrown out. So, like, all this AI BS is all being thrown out, right? And people going, no, it's not right, it's not right. He's also gone away. He's off the grid. He's MIA, or he was, recently. She's then had to release the stuff. So what you have is up the top, you've got this AI, you've got this BS stuff coming through, especially that partnership one. Allegedly, the man-child was behind that. But when it comes to, well, just recently, TMC, of course, it's all to do with money, and it goes straight into Markle's pocket, allegedly entertainment purposes only. And she actually more is hanging around. He is stuck where he is. She is actually hanging around, waiting for something to happen, and then she releases these kind of, happy families, or surfing, or, peps herself, or whatever. It was not done on the weekend, let's put it that way. Takes a little bit longer to, negotiate a sum, right? Now we've got the Queen of Pentacles come up again. You've got the happy families, you've got Temperance reverse, and you've got the Seven of Wands. What is happening here, I think, again, we're cross-referring to all the horrible stuff that's happened to Princess Catherine. Allegedly entertainment purposes only, both of them, because we have the man-child and we have strength on the table. Well, they're not doing too well mentally. Let's put it that way, with Temperance reverse. Are they together? I don't think they are together, but they are saying that they are together. They're saying that it's happy families here. And more Markle at the moment working very, very hard on it, trying to, be defensive kind of thing, standing on hard ground, saying, look at us, we're all happy little families watching Archie. Well, they weren't even watching Archie, right? But, Archie allegedly was out there doing something, and, we're all supporting him in some really bad looking beach too. I mean, didn't look very clean, but anyway, whatever. Okay, so they are also referring to not only now Princess Catherine, but you've also got the late mother. Okay, this is classic example where I'm going. Classic example. They are going to try to say, look how much we're getting bullied. There's all this fake information coming out. And in the meantime, allegedly, they're the ones that are behind it. They're looking for censorship. They don't want all the horrible things that happened to Princess Catherine when she was sick. And we don't want to be, like Harry's mother, literally. Right? Ace of Pentacles. No one's buying it. No one's buying it because it's reversed. The Emperor. Ten of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. They're doing all this for Charles to let him in on some sort of inheritance. Yeah, I know. What's he going to give him? I did actually mention this in the comments, I think, in my last reading. I can't remember all the reading before. Charles will give him something from his private affairs. Everything that Charles has when it comes to the monarchy, of course, goes to William. But Charles has got a pretty penny stash, private cash, right? So he'll get something. This is where they're going. because Harry needs to be rich. He needs to be the King of Pentacles. He needs to be the king of his whole house and his empire and his own kingdom. Money motivated or to do with inheritance. It's the only way Harry ever gets any money anyway. All right. Page of Wands. Death. Six of Swords. The World and the High Priestess. What was that? Dark Times, of course it is. So they're waiting for Charles to move on, basically. That's what they're doing. Sorry about that, people. They're waiting for Charles to move on. They're looking for some sort of money, some sort of inheritance. But let's just go basically to him, to Harry, because this is Harry here. We've got Harry on this line as well. Despite the fact this is her up here changing the narrative and, you know, paying TMC to be the happy families. Further down, you're working on Harry's plan that he's trying to manifest here with the Page of Wands. Absolutely. Trying to transition as he gets older. Nice, calm waters. Got enough money. You know, rich, literally rich, more inheritance kind of thing. Because the inheritance card has come through. And then that hopefully will be the end of it. Literally, because you have the world. And then he can do his little happy dance. He's still got a secret bump. This is what I'm worried about. If something happens, right, and they can't get this censorship, in America they won't be able to get it. But the way that UK is at the moment, they probably will. I think UK is already working on that. I think Starmer or someone has signed something to start monitoring social media now again. And I remember Trump having a go at it. So I'm going to do a political reading on that. I also believe that the king is compromised as well when it comes to the next state visit. I'm going to do a reading on that. What secret could he possibly have? What secret could darling boy have? Because she did have the emperor come up here as well. Scary, isn't it? Scary. He gets his censorship, so then what's going to happen? Does that mean then in the UK that he can let loose on something? Or is he actually saying, if you don't give me what you want, I'm going to release that other 400 pages? Not that anyone's going to believe him anyway, but literally entertainment purposes only, he's manifesting something. This is Harry. This is Harry, and it's probably come from his spiritual awakening. This is Harry here. In the meantime, she's just playing the little happy families, and, you know, she has a stack of pictures that when something happens really bad or they want to change the narrative, she sells them to the highest bidder, like she did this week to TMZ. Thank you very much for asking to that subscriber. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.